I'm Quentin Fong. I'm with Alaska Sea Grant. I'm a seafood marketing specialist that has been with the program for 24 years now. I'm located at the Kodiak Seafood Marine Science Center. It's a building that has a 4,000 square feet uh, pilot seafood processing facility that we do a lot of research in processing. And we have been, Melissa Good this afternoon will be talking to you about some of the processing training that we will have for Alaskans if you're interested in seafood. And what I'm doing today is really just give an update on the market conditions for seaweed itself. And I'm going to open up for questions, a very short presentation, open up for questions. And I think our colleague Lindsay is also here joining us, and she may have something to add with regards to market results. So, seaweed farming in the United States and in Europe really starting this public discussion really started around 2008 when Maine started producing seaweed from the seaweed farm itself. And it continues to really have a very popular discussion today. Certainly, a lot of folks in Alaska are starting to farm seaweed and such. And several recent developments. The online retail giant Amazon has decided to get into seaweed farming out in Netherlands. And also, if you pay attention, past week, Representative Patola really would like NOAA and USDA to do a benefit study for seaweed farming, specifically for Alaska Native communities and communities, other tribal communities on the West Coast. And then, as you know, as you see here in this slide, you see a lot of Alaska-based or companies that are buying Alaska seaweed to be put out in the marketplace itself. And then also we continue to hear about the health benefits of seaweed to human and also the environmentally friendly type of products that is trying to be coming out there in terms of packaging material or even feed to livestock to reduce methane production to help the environment itself. Again, the other part is that the governor also spoke about seaweed as part of the carbon sequestration effort that Alaska will spearhead, in terms of, climate change and so on. And certainly, the data itself. This is a graph that shows, on the left-hand column is really the volume that is produced in terms of millions of metric tons, and also the timeline from 1992 to 2020. This green portion here is really marine algae, which is seaweed production. Okay, so worldwide production, including that of Alaska, in the year 2000, about 10.5 million metric tons was produced for food use and non-food use. And by 2020, which is the latest statistics, it has gone up more than close to 350% in terms of seaweed production. Okay? So definitely not only that in the U.S. and that of Europe is really focusing on seaweed, but other countries are also doing gangbusters in terms of production itself. So what about the market for Alaska? There's a study in 2021 August by McKinley Research. The conclusion that they said, even up to today, the market demand for most meaning Alaskan seaweed products is currently limited, and and so on and so forth. But the main question that we have is that why? I mean, every when you look at production, there's a lot of talk in the media and so on and so forth. Well, this is because the bulk of the seaweed consumption from the food side of things remains among the Asian population. Okay, this big growth in food production, the majority of the growth is really to supply the increasing appetite for seaweed among the Asian population, which is all really located in East Asia. The biggest consumer of seaweed from China, Japan, and Korea in terms of food. Right? And then when you look at the markets or the supply chain for these markets, the Japanese market itself, Japanese consumption, really they have already figured it out since 1920s. Okay? I mean, it became popular in 1920s. There were farms already to supply the demand, the food demand for seaweed in Japan and also in Korea, based in 1920s. And from the Chinese perspective, at that time, they figured it out. They're starting to have farms in 1950s. So the processing and market development is very mature. And with regard to non-food items, these are the alganates, the carrageenans, and the agars. This increase in use in industrial use for the chemicals that are extracted from seaweed itself, and the chemicals that are being used in food emulsifiers such as these AMI frozen foods, cleaning products, a dental mold, and even some of the bandages or dressing, and so on and so forth. So who are the big players in this industrial uses? In the US, you're looking at Fortune 500 companies such as DuPont and also FMC Corporation. I mean, these are huge, huge chemical companies that really, and distribution companies. So when they do business, they are talking about, if not million pounds of products, certainly it's hundreds and thousands of pounds of products. And since they're looking at this as chemicals, it's really a commodity rather than a specialty product. So coming back to, the production itself. So what, coming back to, what we see in the media talking about, seaweed products as food and so on and so forth. Although, and also that, hey, we're developing, we got all these innovation in packaging, in sustainable packaging. This company here is called Solid Blue. And then also there's a lot of talk on feeding kelp to livestock. This is really still in a very innovative or a very infancy type of, market itself. For example, although that individual companies are maybe profitable, the demand in terms of volume is really still not absorbing the production of all the farms that are present in Alaska. Because of this oversupply situation, really, right now, what we see is that there are farms that are idle, there are farms that are producing seaweed that are below full capacity of the operation. And also, I know that some of the farmers are switching or diversifying to oysters growing itself. Okay. But, because of this limited, market, I think that at first there's this big buzz about, all the farms and so on and so forth. And I think that, because of this oversupply situation. Not only that, in Alaska, in many communities in Maine, which is a large producer, we are also hearing that some of the farms are also idle or producing below capacity. I think the U.S. government right now, especially USDA, has really designated seaweed as a specialty crop. Our state, certainly our state is really paying attention to this. And that's why, and a lot of the farmers themselves, take matters in their own hand, looking to what we call forward integrating into the marketplace itself. This is what the, example, what we call the food marketing system. At the end, on the right-hand side is a consumer or user. And then on this side, on the left-hand extreme side, is a grower. It is actually a fairly complicated system to transform a raw product that this consumer uses. Okay, so a lot of growers right now is really looking at forward. Some of the growers forward integrating into primary processing, meaning stabilizing the product itself. The latest really thinking is that because the logistical cost is very expensive from Alaska, there's a really focus on seaweed drying as a means to ship product out, less expensive, in terms of bulk. For example, if you're looking at, I can only speak from Kodiak point of view, a container, a 40 feet container shipping from Kodiak, Seattle is close to $8,000. Okay. So there's a thinking of drying, and also that through the EVOs, Exxon Valdez oil spill grant money, and also the EDA money, substantial effort will be looking to develop our own supply and marketing chain to develop our own markets, whether it's from the state level, from the university level, from the private sector level, and also nonprofit level, such as our colleagues in Greenwave, to really within the next 4 years to make some real progress to move some products out into the food and non-food market. Finally, I just want to throw this out, just to show you a product development process. It is really multi-dimensional. A lot of it really, you have the consumer research, market research, and it's a combination of different disciplines, business, economics, technology, and also a lot of biochemistry to put together to build a successful product. And also that it is an iterative process, that you can imagine this diagram, multi-dimensional diagram, tumbling through space and time to finally get a successful product out there that the consumer is willing to pay with a certain amount of volume to make our industry worthwhile. Okay. So I'm going to end. My end here. So I'm stepping into thank you. So, I'm more than happy to.
What's that, Quentin?
Oh, I was going to say, so what we are really looking at, just to add a little bit, from our university perspective, Lindsay's not here. From our perspective, we are a research and education organization. So we are hiring a food development, specialist and also food safety specialist. It's really to put together product development workshops. And as you know, we are going to, we will have another seaweed processing workshop in April, which Melissa is going to talk about this afternoon.